Good morning, it's Eve. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through an art pack I put together. It was David's birthday yesterday. I took him to an island called Schiermonnikoog for his birthday, and it's an island, and I thought a great opportunity because we'll mostly be sat on the beach, so I thought he'll read, I'll paint and draw. So I put together an art pack to take with me, and I wanted to show you it, partly because it was a really good practice run for when I go to Porto in September. So this is a pack. It's from a company called Aunts and Uncles. I got it second hand, maybe third or fourth hand for all I know, but I got it from a Mad Mimi store, which is like a thrift store here in the Netherlands. And I really liked it because it's kind of like a saddle bag type thing. I used to have one of these when I was younger, like a teenager, and I used to be able to put so many like drawing supplies in. I used to love it. It had different compartments. This one doesn't have a lot of different compartments, but it is good for organizing. It's also made from like a really hard leather, so it's quite heavy, which I probably shouldn't have took yesterday because I've got a messed up shoulder. But anyway, that's by the by. So I thought I'd show you what I took yesterday, and we can have a look at what I drew. Not a lot. And then I can work out from here what I'm going to take to Porto, because my trip to Porto I actually have a really strict baggage allowance. So when you open it up, what I like about this bag is it has this kind of like wrap over shape. See, it won't sit flat. And I managed to get, I mean, it's quite heavy. I think if I was to weigh it, it probably comes up at about 5 or 6 kilos, maybe more. So this is everything I could get in, but I also took like a tub about this size in plastic with a bit of water in it, which I put in like the basket because I took a beach basket with us. So in here we have 2 sketchbooks, my little one and my large one. Both of them are art creations. They're the cork board cover with the white paper. I took Nia colours that are stuck on. I also took this just Sketch It or Sketchgo, I forget what it's called, board. A peg and awl pack. The clips. There's more. There's a small inside pocket, which I took these spare pans. This is a pack you've seen before. A couple of watercolour brushes, or water brushes, and then just Nurofen and my bank cards. You can see that it's pretty empty now. And that's that front pocket that I took the green pack from. So let's just have a quick look. I really like that bag. It was actually, so I got it for I think like 20 euros from a thrift store, and my fiance's parents gave me £20 for my birthday that particular year, and I was like, oh brilliant, you basically just bought me a really cool bag. This you have seen before. This, I think you've seen this before. You may have. If you're new to my channel, you won't have. I'll show you quickly how it works. So the idea is that you open up your sketchbook and then you stick a few pages between, and then you can secure it with these clips. And I actually found this really helpful yesterday for drawing. And oh, sorry, my shoulder is really sore. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Let me pause and come back. There we go. Sorry, mate. I'm not able to do much with my right shoulder at the moment. My entire right arm. For this size, it's actually perfect, but I didn't take the sketchbook out and use while I was there. And then you put your watercolors here or your palette. So I took with me 2 palettes. I took this little gouache one, which I showed you, I think, last week, filling out and setting up. It's changed since because, as you can see, some of the colours have cracked and crumbled, even though I've been putting water on them. And I actually dropped it after last week's video. I dropped it on the floor and I ended up losing this one. I lost this one. I lost this one. And one of them cracked completely. This cracked completely and fell out, so I tried to glue it back together a bit. Gouache apparently is not great in a mini palette, but I did replace it with non-gouache options. Oh, this one didn't fall out. That's my vermilion. You've seen that. It was this one, the alizarin crimson. So I've shoved some Perylene maroon in there to stick it together. This is lavender watercolor. This was originally going to be cobalt blue from Holbein, and then I decided no, actually I'm just going to put indigo in because I love indigo watercolor. So anyway, sorry I'm waffling, but that's my little gouache kit, and I had that like this. It doesn't stick as well as the other ones. Then I also had, maybe because it's reverse magnet as well. Oh gosh, sorry, my neck. Then I didn't have a pot of water because I was sat at the table, so I had a bucket, like a little plastic bucket. But yeah, this worked really well. I'm just gonna take a moment and come back, 1 sec. And then I also took this watercolor palette, which is my Jane Dobie Making Colours Sing palette. I love this palette. This I didn't end up taking out. Like, I took it with me, but I didn't take it out. It's quite weighty, so I might see if I can put together a slightly smaller version for my trip to Porto, because that's going to be quite heavy to take with the amount of paint in it. And then, so I call this like my travel watercolour kit. You've seen it before. I think it's in my minimal travel kit video, which I'll link up here. And then I've also got a couple of microns, which I wouldn't necessarily take with me if I had my Gouache pen, because this has got platinum black ink in it. But I thought I might get some tech drawings done while I was there for my secret project. So these always come in handy for tech drawings. But I ended up not using those. I also have 2 travel brushes, which I used this flat brush a lot yesterday. Well, a lot, like I didn't do a lot, but I used it when I did. Graphite pencil, a pencil, mechanical pencil, and this thing. David, we've discussed how David doesn't like the versions I draw of him when I'm doing an illustrative method. So that if I take a pick graphite pencil and a stubby stick, if I have a moment, I can draw him with that, because I can do that pretty good. Yeah, so and you might think, well, why did you take those and then take these? I don't know. I threw these into the bag at the last minute when I realised there was space, and I didn't use them, so I probably didn't need them. But when I go to Porto, I won't have space for a bucket, so actually maybe I would leave these behind and then I would take these with me, but empty, folded up. So there's that. I was going to, in my head I thought I'd swatch out what I took with me, but actually there's quite a lot here. Maybe I'll swatch out my new gouache palette so you can see it. We'll see, we'll put it there. Depends how long this video gets. I also took the 2, if you saw my art toolkit setup video, you'll know that I got 2 mixing palettes. One I had purchased separately and one that came with it that I ended up not fitting in. So I took those with me because somebody had commented on that video and said, oh, you can like pack them and then take them with you. And actually, I think they're going to be a bit of a pain to get off, but I could actually take them as extra mixing areas stuck to this, so that does work. Can't get them off now. And then the benefit of taking this yesterday was also because there is an Urban Sketches event on Saturday. So I may, I'm not sure my schedule will allow it, but I may take this kit or a more pared down version to that. I also took my pack of Neocolors. I would probably get this down a little bit as well because that was quite weighty. I mean, if you've ever had a pack of Neocolor 2s, you know that they can be weighty. And then I also had great fun. Well, you can hear what's in here. You might have seen that I had used this originally for marker pens, and then I changed it and I had Tombow pens, and I'm still not sure what I'm doing with it. But at the moment, I do like having a good selection of colour pencils. It fits in a lot of colour pencils, as you can see. And what I did, I used my tool roll so much, but I was like, I can't really justify taking this huge thing because I can't hide this. Like, if someone at check-in sees this massive thing, they're like, yeah, no, you're overweight, they're gonna charge me. So in my head I'm thinking, how can I break it down? Well, I've made a gorgeous denim jacket for the project I've been working on, and the pockets are big enough for certain things because I was strategic. So things like this or another palette I can slide into pockets. Water brushes I can put, you know, things that are a bit heavy. Water brushes are quite light actually. I can slide into pockets of my jacket, and I'm going to wear like a sneaky little bum bag and hide stiff. I'll do a packing video with you actually maybe next week for Porto before I leave for the UK. Though I will be in the UK at that time, so it'll go live after I've left. And I thought, well, it's a great opportunity to take some colours I wouldn't normally take. So like these Derwent Lightfast, I don't normally put many of those to use. Some of these Derwent Chroma Coloursoft, that's the word. I've got some Holbeins in here as well, and just 1 or 2 extra greens from the colour Polychromos and Luminance. So this worked out well, and yeah, I had great fun. And I managed to fit all of those in here, my Peganol tool case, and I probably could have fit more in. It's just I wanted to be able to poke around. I did forget to take a sharpener. I grabbed one, took it out because it was the chunky one. I meant to grab my little one, I forgot. And then let me show you the art. So when I say I didn't get much art done, I really didn't. That's the story of my life this month. If you're waiting with bated breath for my August review video, August challenge review with acrylic inks, I've not done an awful lot again. And not because I haven't had fun. Like when I've done it, I have had fun. It's just time. So let me find... Okay, I'll show you the terrible one first. This was the second one I did. I got my Gouache pen out, my ink pen, and I drew, but David kept talking to me. We were sat at this little beach hut bar. He kept talking to me and I had a view of him here. You can see I started putting his sunglasses in. And the beer cart and the snacks and the Peroni beer. I had a Peroni and he had something else. I forget what it was. Texels. and there was this chair, and then there's this frame around, like right behind him, in front of us, like a wind protector, but it had like a panel of glass so you could see through it, and this was my view, and it just kept, there was more and more detail, and I was getting lost, and I was like, no, stop this, and then we actually left. But the one that I did before that, I got my gouache out, my little art toolkit palette gouache kit, and I had it on here like this, and I could just hold it in my hand and like move around and look. So this is the frame that I was telling you about, slightly wrong angle, David Satchel on the floor, Peroni beer, him reading a book. He's always reading a book, but this is a good, like, it doesn't look like him, but it's captured him in how he sits and reads. And then beyond, you've got these dunes, and it was so cool because in the dunes there were 3 artists, 1, 2, 3, no, there was a 4th one that came later. They all had their easels set up and they were all doing painting. There were 2 standing here looking that way towards the dunes and painting the dunes, and then there was 2 further up that were looking towards the beach. I think they were probably putting the hut in where we were sat, because it was quite, I'll put a photo on the screen so you can see the kind of like space around where this beach hut was. Yeah, so I quite enjoyed this. It took me probably about an hour just doodling away. I wasn't so sure about the watercolour gouache aspect after I'd finished it. I moved on to here, but then because I quite like the different colours within the pencil, but I don't like the black line, but I am liking the white space. And here I feel like it needed more white space. So, I don't know. I'm on a constant search for finding what it is I like to do and don't do. Anyway, that is what I took to Schiermonnikoog yesterday for the day. It was a very long day. We got up at, well, I think my app says I had like 4 hours sleep. And we were out from 7 in the morning and we got back at about 10:30 at night. Lots to travel, ferries, boats, buses. Ferry is a boat. But it was fun. It was an experience, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a shorter one, sorry, but it allows me to now look at what I've packed for yesterday and what I can take to Porto in September. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, whatever you're up to. Hopefully you're going to be out drawing or drawing inside, wherever you like to do it, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Take care. Bye.